It was 20 years ago today. Jurassic Park 3 came out in theaters. I went to see it within a day or two of it opening. I liked it. Not as well as I had liked Jurassic Park 1. But I knew going into it that it was a new director, Joe Johnston. I had liked The Rocketeer. I had liked Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I'd liked his pre-production artwork for Star Wars. So I had a little open mind about it when I went to see it, knowing it was not Spielberg himself. The best thing for me was the return of Alan Grant. No slight intended against Ian Malcolm. I just always identified better with Grant as a character. So when the movie came out, I began buying some of the figures. Now these were by Hasbro/Kenner, and they were different from the Jurassic Park 1 and 2 figures in that they went down in size to about a 4-inch scale. So this is the Kirby family, and then we've got a couple of military soldiers here. See if those guys will come into focus for you. 2 different versions of Billy, including one with the hang glider, and 3 different versions of Alan Grant. Now, I mean, it's an okay sculpt on the face. This one's got posable knee joints for some reason. I guess he came with a vehicle. I don't remember. But the big qualm that I had with him was that he was hatless. I would have preferred it to have been an Alan Grant figure that was wearing a hat. Curiously enough, decades go by, and a different line of Jurassic Park toys came out, also in the 4-inch scale. So this is the Spinosaurus from a year or 2 ago. Most of the Jurassic Park legacy stuff are Target exclusives. A few things you have to get from overseas markets. But I got the Spino and really thought he was a pretty cool sculpt, good representation of the character. Matter of fact, it made me buy a larger T-Rex after I got him because he was slightly bigger than my T-Rex. I also have the JP3 specific Velociraptors with the feathers on their head. Alan! And pretty cool. Then I've got these 2 Alan Grant figures that came out in foreign markets. A little harder to come by, a little more expensive. But I want to say these primarily were coming out in Mexico, and I think I got them from a seller in Mexico, as a matter of fact. This one has a Japanese sticker on the back, and it says Mattel and then Sono Kong, which I'm guessing is a toy company there. But you can see 1 figura, 1 dinosaurio, y 3 accesorios. So yeah, this was not intended primarily for an English-speaking audience. It's got multiple lingos on there. This one, I'm guessing, came from England because the sticker is a store called Liverpool. I could easily be wrong about that. So there's a difference, though. Look at the deco on top of the raptors' heads. One of them has a paint application and one of them is bare. I don't know how focused that is. There we go. But the price that I paid, I was like, I want to open them, but I don't want to open them. I want to leave them on the card, but I don't want to leave them on the card. The packaging is kind of flimsy, though, compared to some of the toys that you see in the American market. This piece of tape's actually opened by itself right there. So I think to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the movie coming out, I will go ahead and open those guys. And also, I've got another raptor. I've got another Spinosaurus here with a slightly different deco for Camp Cretaceous. So let's see what these look like out of the package. So one of these 2 Dr. Grants had a bad deco on the head. Right under the hat, there's just too much paint there for what's supposed to be the hairline, and same figure had a bad bag. It was glued shut. I had to kind of slice it with a knife right there where the strap is to get it to even open all the way. So I guess it was a good thing that I bought him twice because only one of them is usable. Clearly, this is the same mold that Mattel had already done for the Legacy line from JP1. So just actually really minor differences in the hat and pants, etc. So the big difference here is Billy's lucky bag with the raptor eggs inside. And I think you can agree that this Grant is a vast improvement over the previous Grant from 20 years ago and a different toy line. little bit shorter, but better representation of the character. So let's put him in the group. And you can also see the two different decos on the female raptors. So their heads, one is painted and one is not. So I guess it was worthwhile to buy it twice, even though I wound up with a spare version of Grant that I didn't actually require. But here's the scene from the movie, more or less, so you can ignore the Spinosauri. But give me the eggs. And then Grant finds this, and he blows on it, and Paul Kirby says, no, 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 blow for help. JP3, 20 years ago today. Thanks for watching.